It appears from the oral arguments that there are probably 4 votes to stop the Trump administration, or I should say to allow for the lower court decisions in joining the Trump administration from unilaterally deciding that the 14th Amendment no longer counts as a constitutional provision. Coney Barrett, Kagan, Sotomayor, KBJ, they all appear to have reasons to believe that these nationwide injunctions can stand. And they also, I think, believe that the underlying subject of those injunctions, the 14th Amendment, is valid. Here's Kavanaugh, and he's asking the second order question. How would you, assuming for a moment that we were to get rid of these injunctions, how would you apply this ruling? How would the government be prepared to sort of say, okay, these people are no longer citizens and going forward can't be citizens? He asks of John Sauer, that's Trump's Solicitor General.
Day after it goes into effect, this is just a very practical question how this is going to work. What do hospitals do with a newborn? What do states do with a newborn?
I don't think they do anything different. What the executive order says in Section 2 is that federal officials do not accept documents that have the wrong designation of citizenship from people who are subject to the executive order.
How are they going to know that?
The states can continue to, the federal officials will have to figure that out.
How?
So you could imagine a number of ways that the federal officials could.
Such as?
Such as they could require a showing of, documentation showing legal presence in the country. For a temporary visitor, for example, they could see whether they're on a B1 visa, which would exclude kind of the birthright citizenship in that country.
For all the newborns? Is that how that's going to work?
Again, we don't know because the agencies were never given the opportunity to formulate the guidance. They would have 30
They're only going to have 30 days to do this. You think they can get it together in time?
They're under, that's what the executive order instructs them to do, and hopefully they will do so. Again, it's a speculative and hypothetical scenario because they were enjoined from even starting that process.
It's not really that hypothetical. It's actually like a real thing. That
the plan.
Yeah, that is the plan.
The implications of the law. Yeah.
But that, I mean, the point is I don't even know how long, you would have
the executive order. Yeah.
Check every single person who is born. They would have to bring in their papers. Unclear at what part of the process you do that. And then for every person who exists in the country.
We should interrogate these mothers, see if they're here legally.
And who is the official at the hospital who makes these assessments?
Probably the
Stephen
same.
Miller.
Yeah, probably. Since they want to be so efficient, it'll be the same person who is inspecting if doctors offer abortion services to women. So they'll have the same cop on that beat, is my guess.
There'll be a uniformed customs official in a booth at the hospital
with a gun.
And as you go in to the birthing center area, you will they will stamp your passport. And
that's what mothers need after they just given birth, is to be sort of.
They want their spouse. They want their spouse in the room and a U.S. customs official.
I can tell you, as a two-time father, the thing that you're thinking about when the dilations start happening and the water breaks is grab the passport.
Call ICE.
You can hold it, right? You can hold it. Just hold it in until you go through customs at the maternity ward.
Oh, right.
I'm sure they'll have an app that'll make it quicker to go through customs at the in the birthing center or whatever it is.
When your water breaks, just open up the ICE app and you can expedite your sort of processing.
Exactly.
It's actually a really nice distraction from the contractions. You can fill out your papers as you go through unimaginable pain. It's
impressive.
funny because it's horrifying.
But and then, like, to be clear, like, at each moment, there would have to be every single person would have to go through this, and every person would have to contest it in that moment. They would have to then go to court to contest after they don't get after their baby essentially is considered, well, maybe, deportable in that moment, or like, do you issue a visa to, let's say you're here on a student visa. Mm-hmm. What is the visa that the baby gets at that point?
They get temporary protected status, gotta be, right?
The easiest thing might be to turn the maternity wards into like detention facilities. So the mother goes in there, she's detained, and the baby's detained because they're not going to catch and then release, right? Mm-hmm. Baby's born and then they got to figure it out.
That's a good point.
Maybe people could just go to Guantanamo Bay to get we could just have a maternity ward at Guantanamo Bay. And just,
this is America. We want teachers to have guns to protect from school shootings, and we want nurses to also have guns.
Guantanamo doulas.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Trump's starting that business right now. And you pay in Bitcoin. Trump coin.
Top floor of the new Trump Tower.
Trump says he's considering ways to serve a third term as president. Every time we call out Trump's authoritarianism, the right calls it media hysteria. But here's your reminder. Trump is openly trying to defy the Constitution and run for a third term. But if you don't know the bias behind your news, you might actually believe Trump's just teasing us. Go to ground.news/majority to see how framing influences more than your perception. Media bias is powerful enough to shape policy and, yes, even Trump's ability to undermine the Constitution. That's why we've partnered with Ground News for years now. Their app and website breaks down how the most critical issues we're facing are being spun. By exposing each reporting source's hidden agendas, I can see the world as it is, not as their biases want me to. Even better, if I'm ever reading about an issue on another site, their browser extension flags the source's political bias and instantly links me to other reports so I can verify the information. They're not some new tool I needed to learn. Ground News is a better version of the doom scrolling we're already doing. And after reading your comments, it's clear you'd benefit from them too. I got my viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's just $5 a month for clarity and context when you go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code. Democracy thrives on knowing the full story, not just the version you're fed. So sign up for Ground News today. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.